none of us really know. None of us really know.
I know.
No, I know. Perfect timing, Keith.
Keith, what's up?
Your favorite movie of all time. F9.
Oh, good.
How is there any other choice than Remember the Titans being number one?
I'm curious.
I'm spoiling mine, but
Well, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, that's a good
I'm
question,
not even
Brian.
done talking.
you shouldn't be talking at this point.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Apocaflix Now, our main show here at Apocaflix Movies. I am your host tonight, Jacob Bartley, and I'm joined by these other three gentlemen here with me, and Keith Barnes will be joining us here soon, but let me introduce the rest of the crew here. First up, we got Brian Avalasino. How you doing, Brian? Whoa, nice background, man. Good lighting.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't realize that we got on at like 6:30 and we're just chit-chatting.
Yeah.
I had no idea that it was 7. So when Jake said, "All right, let's go," I was sitting on my couch and I'm like, "Wait, what?" And
During the intro, you could see Brian shuffling things
I
around.
I was
like,
expecting that to be Brian's background.
because I was like just sitting on the couch, like slouched, and I'm like, Jake's like, "All right, here we go," and I'm like, "Go where?"
That's why I was so caught off guard. But
Yeah.
your lighting looks a lot better today.
Yeah, so we figured out the corner. So like I'm in one of the corners, and it kind of shines.
I see. Yeah.
Perfectly.
I'm guessing Jake came over and helped you with that.
Nope, did it all by myself.
Remember the old
I
Brian
asked
apartment
you,
days where
tell the
Jake
truth,
would
Brian.
set everything
Tell the
up.
I asked you, should I go into the corner and you think it would help, and you said yes, and that's about it.
Oh, okay.
So
He
right
wasn't
there.
physically there setting it up for
No.
you.
Jake gets producer credit.
Jake's been to like a house like once, I think.
Like old
Maybe
times.
twice.
That's not true, but that's okay.
How many
I
times
remember
How
When I
did you
moved
move
in-
in?
when I moved in and the TV?
I've come at least 3 times.
Name it.
I shouldn't have to go back to my memories.
Yeah. No, I just remember the old days. Jake used to like clean your apartment like while we're getting ready to podcast. Not clean, but organize.
Oh yeah,
I didn't want dirty ass dishes in the background and stuff.
I
you
was
know?
not like that. He likes to like decorate my apartment. So
Everyone in the chat can say, do you like a background that looks somewhat put together or an absolute just garbage?
well, no, it's
No.
rude saying that the way I have.
I'm not
things
saying
is
your
garbage.
apartment was a garbage shoot. I'm just saying.
But he just likes to decorate. It's free reign. It's not his house, so he gets to be.
Hey, you got a free
interior
interior designer. There you go, Brian. There you go.
Now I just
Oh,
need him to
Lord.
come over and do the shelves and stuff, so I can do
There
that.
you go.
Nope, I gave him to you. You can do it yourself, Brandon.
And then I'm gonna put like lights, LED lights in the corner.
Andy, nobody asked you.
This is why I like Australians. They're my favorite.
Oh, somebody's echoey. I don't know who it is.
It's probably me. I didn't have my headphones. Or
There you
Jake.
go.
It's usually Jake.
Well, as you know, Jake Berlin is also here. How you doing, man?
I'm okay. This week's been a little crazy.
And it is Tuesday.
Yeah,
Only
it's been,
Tuesday.
it's been a little wild. And I'll also say the wedding stuff for us is getting a little crazy as well. We're getting into the nitty gritty. We have 4 months to go.
Dude, it's coming up fast.
It is coming up real, or just over 4 months, I should say. Not
Yeah.
4 months just yet, but just over 4 months. Our entire Saturday last week was dedicated to that, and then on Sunday I went golfing and my driver broke, and then Monday hit me hard with work.
Well, then stop hitting the damn golf ball so freaking hard.
So yeah, it's been an eventful, I'd say, 5 days. And I obviously wasn't on last week, unfortunately. I just had to take a little bit of breather again. Some wedding stuff kind of came up, and Gabby and I did some time to take care of some stuff. But yeah, what a show to come back to because of this past weekend. So
A lot of stuff to talk about. Gio Ramos, how you doing, man?
What's up, guys? Like I said in the pre-show, I was finishing up a
Thought you were gonna say Bender.
no on Friday.
no, that 2-day bender starts now because it's Friday.
There we go.
Yeah, not much to add. I am moving into a new place in about 2 weeks, so looking
Where?
forward to that.
Officially?
Yep.
He sent me the
Downtown.
Snapchat earlier today.
Congratulations. Finally,
Yeah.
we've been hearing about it for months.
Did I
You know,
miss it?
hey, you know what? Just for you, man, I'm gonna pop myself a Gatorade.
There you go. Hey, orange too. There you go, man.
Oh, I see. I almost just literally
Damn.
showed the picture, and that would have been your address.
Hey, the orange Gatorade's underrated. I'll say that. A lot of people don't
100%
like it. I love the orange one. I actually like most of them, but
Doesn't beat blue.
but I love
though.
the orange one.
Andy, to answer your question, only Geo uses Snapchat still.
This is true.
What's wrong with Snapchat?
I barely use any social media ever. If you guys have noticed, I don't Snapchat. What does everybody use now? TikTok is the one that everybody uses. I actually do have an account.
You're so freaking old. You're
No, I
Yeah,
am.
when was the last time Jacob shared a show on social media for this channel?
Hey, I actually do that quite frequently. That's like the only reason I use social media, to be honest.
It's
if
not.
people look at my Facebook page, it's only sharing Apocaflix.
Yeah, see,
stuff
that's the thing.
sharing
None of us
my other
use
stuff.
freaking Facebook anymore, except for Jacob. So he's literally the Facebook promoter.
I guess so. No, but things are pretty good with me. Crazy weekend, I should say. What we actually like, Keith, Gio, and I, a couple of other people got together and watched the Oscars, which we are going to talk about a little later in the show. But yeah, that was fun. That was fun watching those moments with a couple buddies. So I enjoyed that. But yeah, we are going to talk about do a little Oscars recap. We also are going to be celebrating our favorite women in film. And don't give me any crap. You guys were invited to my Oscar viewing party this time.
No, we were.
This time? You mean we haven't been invited in the past?
Well, no, the last 2 years I didn't do anything.
That's what he's telling us. But
no, but yeah, I would love to do the watch along again. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, we're also going to talk about the Top Gun Maverick trailer. But before we get to that, we're going to go to the movie watching challenge. If I could find the freaking stinger. Here we go.
did you notice how he started talking really slow to see if he could find it?
There we go.
Yeah,
there's so many like
rocking the whole thing.
pages there. But yes, for those of you who don't know, this is the segment of our show where one of us every week gets challenged to watch a movie that we haven't seen. And Keith Barnes was challenged to watch the movie. What is it called, Brian?
Upgrade.
Upgrade. There we go.
Wow.
Upload.
Wow. Upload is the Prime Video series.
Yes,
Series.
Upload.
Upload is the knockoff version you see on like
Upgrade,
Lifetime.
which is a movie I still haven't seen. Keith isn't here right now. He is gonna put up a separate video of that, so keep an eye out for that. His review for Upgrade will be up. But he did choose somebody to challenge them to a new movie that they haven't seen, and Jake's the one with that information.
I do have that information. He's a busy man. He obviously, he works a ton, so he's not able to be here early to review it. But he did forward me who he wanted to challenge and what movie. It's a movie that has actually been challenged to one other person before on this channel. And it's a movie that he absolutely adores. So first of all, he is challenging tonight's host, Mr. Jacob Bartley, and he is going to be challenging him to In Bruges. You're going to be watching the Colin Farrell-led In Bruges. You obviously
is this a comedy?
It's yes, kind of, sorta, yes.
Have you not seen it?
I have. It's yes, but also no. It depends on your style of comedy. It's a different. I'll say this. It's a very different take with Colin Farrell. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Is it a satire?
No, not at all. Not at all.
No.
It's like a legitimate movie with a story. There's oh my god, what was I just thinking of as far as a movie comparison? I had it in my brain. God, it's gonna bug me.
So it says, guilt-stricken after a job gone wrong, hitman Ray and his partner await orders from their ruthless boss in Bruges, Belgium. The last.
So it's
place,
like
yeah.
it's like it's a dark comedy. It's almost a very lighter, more comedic centric version of The Gentleman.
Okay. Yeah. So if Keith challenged me to this, there's a reason. Like, he thinks I'm gonna like it. Oh, Ralph Fiennes is in it too. That's
He's
pretty
not
cool.
going to challenge you to a movie he thinks you're going to hate.
No, exactly. So hey, look, I love Colin Farrell. If I have no other reason to look forward to it, it's that. So I'm definitely excited. So we'll see, because there's a lot of movies Keith could have chose, and he chose this.
I'm pretty sure Keith challenged me to In Bruges as well. Otherwise,
It's came up before.
maybe I just watched it on my own, but he has tried to challenge someone to this movie on this channel.
Remember when we used to do
forever.
the poll? I think Keith submitted this movie a lot of times during that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so there we go. I'll be watching In Bruges. I'll get that review up next week. And I don't know about you guys, but to me, it seems like I've been getting challenged so much. Or like, I feel
You're
like
the new Brian.
Every time I have a chance to get challenged, I'm challenged. So hey, there we go. I don't mind watching. How long is this movie? Hopefully it's not too long.
It's 2.5 hours.
No, it's not. It's like an hour and 40 minutes, isn't it?
I was kidding.
Look, as long as it's not as long as Lincoln. There we go.
We told you Lincoln was going to be long.
Yeah.
And you should be happy you watched Lincoln, damn it.
No, I was. Look, I said it wasn't boring to me at all. But Keith, you're gonna have to Venmo me $3.99. I don't think it's available on streaming anywhere. So there we go.
You guys do that to me like 95% of the time. So I don't even wanna
Or
hear
wait,
it.
Jake, do you have the Blu-ray unopened? I'll come borrow it. There we go.
I'd have to look. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll be watching In Bruges, and again, keep an eye out for Keith's review on Upgrade. He'll have that up pretty shortly here. Before we get to some of the other stuff we're going to talk about the new trailer for Top Gun Maverick. It just came out today. And look, I'll tell you guys what. You guys know I care about Top Gun the least out of all of us.
Suck.
You guys challenged me to watch Top Gun a couple years ago.
You.
I liked it. That soundtrack is still stuck in my head. I like Top Gun, but I still don't understand why people are so excited for this movie. I don't know.
I want to kick him off the show.
I
Look,
was about to ask
that
you to kick
being-
him off the
look,
show.
Jesus Christ.
That being said, this trailer is awesome.
You know what?
This
You don't
trailer-
have the right to say that.
I know. It's like
incredible.
tainted. It's
'Cause look,
tainted now.
It's like the Remember the Titans thing all over again, damn it.
Uh-huh.
But no, here's the thing. I can't lie. I can't fake my excitement for Top Gun Maverick, but I'll say that out of all the trailers, this one got me on board the most. And the one scene that did it is when he's arguing with Miles Teller, and Miles Teller says, "My father believed in you. I won't make that mistake again." Because this trailer felt very serious. Like there weren't a lot of jokes. It was like straight to the point, and I dug this trailer. I got chills watching it, which I did not expect at all.
I got chills.
Yeah, and so this got me on board, like to the point. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have gone with you guys opening night to see it. I'm down. Let's go. Let's do it.
Fuck?
What?
Look,
What the
guys.
Okay, I'm gonna mute him real quick. So this was my number one anticipated movie of the year.
Yeah.
And so far, like nothing has changed, but this was the best trailer that they dropped in all of the marketing.
See, I agree.
Any combination of footage.
Why is he talking?
I unmuted him because I'm a nice person just for a little bit. No, it's look, we know what Tom Cruise can do with action movies now compared to what he was doing in the late 80s, early 90s when he did the first Top Gun. He takes things to a whole different level, and he has an incredible supporting cast of young actors and actresses around him, among people like John Hamm and possibly Val Kilmer, whether or not we see him, Ed Harris, Jennifer Connelly. The cast is just stacked with those alone. But then
I love Jennifer Connelly,
Miles Teller, and Glenn Powell, and all these young people who obviously that's who Maverick was 30 plus years ago, right? He was that young stud coming into Top Gun who is now being trained by someone, Viper back in the days, right? Oh my God, what's the other one's name? Viper and
Jester? No,
Jester. It was Jester. Good call.
Okay.
Good call. No, the moments for me though that I get excited about the most when I see this footage is I always keep in the back of my head that they are actually flying these planes.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's awesome.
it's not a fake pilot in the cockpit. They are actually flying these planes. And it's funny because I think it was late last week. There was an article that Tom Cruise did about how when they got together, they obviously had to do training and learn how to fly a plane and be in the cockpit. But the one thing that Tom Cruise had to do with the young cast is teach them how to handle G-force. That is insane to think about an actor or actress learning to handle G-force. That's when you know how serious the practical effects are in this film. Is they're going that fast, they're going that high, and the scene that kills me is the two jets flying, and then Maverick comes flying in between. Oh my god, it is so good.
How is he so confident they won't crash or something after that?
Because if I'm not mistaken, the same thing happened to him in the first movie.
Okay.
He's now playing the role where he's doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's just so many things to love about it. I also want to mention the Iceman touch in this one. It's kind of the first real mention we've got of him in any of the footage. And I'm not going to say it kind of led us to believe one thing, but it almost seems like the last dying wish of Iceman was Maverick to be there. He's the guy that he wants teaching these guys when it comes down to the nitty gritty. So that's going to be emotional in itself.
Yeah.
Just because of their relationship in the first movie and kind of maybe what's gone through over the decades. But yeah, it's my number one anticipated movie of the year for a reason. It stays up there. It's crushing it. I cannot wait for this movie.
I completely agree. I'm going to see this movie twice, one on IMAX and one in 4D, because I can only imagine a 4D.
Good call, Brian. Good call.
This is a great movie for that.
Yeah.
Count me in, Brian.
This is a great movie for that.
This movie in 4D is going to be like flying with them. And I can't.
Is that the same as D-Box or are those different?
It's D-Box.
It's D-Box.
Yeah. Okay.
And this movie hits me in the feels because I know I've told the story that all of my friends in high school, we all just decided like our group was the Top Gun pilots. So we each had a different name. So
Who are
like
you?
Hollywood, right?
No.
Oh,
Slider?
No.
Iceman, because he's the bad guy.
Oh my goodness, of course.
So cheesy.
The whole thing was cheesy, and that's what made it so like.
And what's Miles Teller's he's Rooster?
Rooster, baby. Goose and Rooster. I love it.
Yeah.
That's cool. That is cool.
It was just fun because like the guy that basically like led the group, we called him Maverick. The guy that was like anytime he had a girlfriend just disappeared, he was Goose. It was fun. So like hearing you guys say like Jester and Viper, those are friends' names. So it's just like I wish I could just grab all those guys and like let's go see this movie together. It just looks so good too. I'm like the score that they keep playing in the soundtrack, the slowed down kind of version of it.
Oh, that is great. Yeah.
Yes.
The Top Gun theme is one of the best themes ever made.
It is.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
And
dun.
I mean, there's so many things nostalgia wise for this. Like when I was growing up, like we used to go to Great America all the time and ride the Top Gun roller coaster. That was the best ride.
They had a Top Gun roller coaster?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man.
so good. It was
Oh my goodness.
good.
I mean, it doesn't matter to you, Jacob. You don't like Top Gun, so
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I do like Top Gun.
It's
I don't love it. If I don't love something, I hate it. What's Come on.
Yeah. I mean, haven't you learned from fandoms of Star Wars and Marvel and DC?
Well, I get that for Mad Max Fury Road. What else do I get that for?
Sicario.
Yeah, Sicario.
Sicario's
Yeah.
trash.
You all are all trash.
Hey.
It's a Gio and I show, baby.
Sicario is fucking amazing. Come on now.
Hey, look, Taylor Sheridan wrote Sicario, so I have no problems with that movie. But Gio, you're just excited as these guys are about Top Gun Maverick. What'd you think, man?
Yeah, they kind of said it all. This trailer, I feel like it needed to draw general audiences back in because of how many times it's been delayed. Like, and it did. Mission accomplished. The moment that you talked about between Maverick and Goose took me back to Rooster.
Yeah.
Hey, he looks like Goose in that one.
Yeah,
shot where we-
100%. They did a really good
They
job.
did a very good. They made sure that mustache was perfect.
Yeah, totally. But that moment reminded me of Creed between Rocky Balboa and Adonis Creed, and how same thing. Rocky was great friends with Apollo, and now he finds himself training Adonis. It's the same thing. It's going to work out great. I hope to see some kind of footage of Val Kilmer as Iceman. I don't want the photo to be just that. I mean, that's kind of what a lot of us have been waiting for. We've been sold on everything else. We just want to see Iceman, and they gave us a little tease.
He tweeted today too about it.
Yeah, he did. He promoted the trailer.
Yeah,
good. And I hear he's doing a lot better than when his procedure that happened and whatnot. So that's great. Would love to see a reunion at the red carpet between the two. That would be just
it's 100% happening. It's 100%
amazing.
happening.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys pretty much said it. We're all in. Top Gun Maverick. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I saw Rachel has joined us since we started
Rachel.
talking about this trailer, and she had a pretty funny comment there to say,
for audio listeners, she says, so this trailer was mission accomplished, not impossible.
Yeah. And especially with all that stuff going on with Tom
Coming
Cruise
in
and
hot.
Paramount.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing how that all plays out. But yeah, no, look, this movie, man, it can do some major damage this year because it's coming out at almost the perfect time. It's 3 weeks after Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and just a few weeks before Lightyear.
Still think it should have came out 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, I mean, there's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise has
America.
Tom Cruise has choices over his release dates. Sadly,
Yeah.
But this movie's probably going to make a butt ton of money. I mean, Lightyear and Top Gun are, even though they both deal with planes, they're two very different styles of audiences. So we can see Top Gun make quite a bit of money over quite a bit of time.
Oh, they come out the same week? Yeah, well,
Jeez.
I doubt kids aren't going to go watch Top Gun. I mean, parents will take their kids, but like kids by themselves aren't going to go watch Top Gun. Like a group of
like the kids at
14-year-olds.
work. The kids at work are going to be like, I need to go see Top Gun so bad. Like that.
Yeah. But no, I think Top Gun's going to make a lot of money. I like this.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Brian, this is why.
Oh, good point. Good point. But
okay, that makes more sense.
I love actually
thought
that you guys have the same excitement you do.
That's
for
Labor Day in September.
Like
No,
for
I
a
know
genre
that's my
film.
birthday.
Sorry, Jacob. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's good. And I was saying, like, I love, like, it gets me hyped that you guys are as excited for this as you are for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness or another movie.
Andy's right. That is Celebration Weekend. Well, we're seeing it in LA.
And it's not a bad thing. It's definitely not a bad thing. Any last thoughts on this trailer, guys?
I can't wait.
May could be Tom Cruise month if he is Superior Iron Man and Multiverse of Madness.
Oh my goodness!
I need to see that.
Inverted.
I'm okay if that doesn't happen, Gio, but we'll see.
Hey, real quick. No footage of him going to space. Is he going to space or something? Because like, wasn't there a shot of like
no, I don't. So I'm just theorizing, but there is that shot of him in that what looked like a black jet was the closing shot of the second trailer that we got, what seemed like 5 years ago.
Right.
There's, and I'm just theorizing, but it seems like he may be the choice of test pilot for new technology.
That's right.
And I don't necessarily know if it's going to space, but a new version of a jet that he is the choice of flying. But that shit looks like it rocks. So yeah,
wait, so you think he's actually going to go to space in this movie?
I don't think he's going to space. I
don't look that way. But
isn't Tom Cruise working on something where he's literally shooting in space though? But it's not.
It's a different film, but it's not a Top Gun sequel or anything. But he and Gio's right. If you go back to the second trailer, I think they do that shot where he's flying the ship. And then they cut to him inside, and he looks like he has an astronaut suit on. Yeah, which is why people may think he's going to space. But it may be going so fast that he needs the oxygen.
They probably have him like testing the new
Yeah,
to its
it may be
limit.
like an oxygen hyper speed type of thing where he needs the
Okay,
breathing
but it'll
capacity.
just be in the movie they're going to space. He didn't literally go to space to shoot that.
Well, no, there's an actual movie where he's shooting in space, Jacob.
Yeah, I know that, but I was
Okay.
thinking this isn't the project though that they were talking about. For
Is
that.
Doug Liman directing that one or no?
Doug Liman is directing that one.
Yeah,
The
because that's
space
what
one,
they were
not the
talking
space.
about.
Yeah.
That's Tom Cruise. I love you, man.
It's got to be an Edge of Tomorrow sequel, dude.
Yes.
Hey,
Take the fight
Hell
to
yeah.
them.
We need
Tom
Emily
Cruise
Blunt.
has all my respect. He's the man.
He's the king of this shit.
Absolutely. So for those of you who don't know, there's a little show premiering tonight at midnight, technically opening on Wednesday, releasing on Wednesday, and it's called Moon Knight, and we will be covering it. Brian, you want to tell them a little bit more about that?
Yeah. My show starts tomorrow, and that's Moon Knight. So that means that we are going to do some Marvel Rewind. We are going to actually do it same day. So as of right now, it will be Wednesdays. The day it drops at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Do you have a trailery thingy or no?
Sure.
Let's go
ahead and play that.
That is sick.
I am slightly salty that people are going to start loving Moon Knight, and he's not going to be my niche character anymore. But yeah, everyone's going to love it. I can't wait. So come hear us just gush about it tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
And just to continue on that, because I know I think Gordon asked, Halo's on Thursdays. So our Halo reviews will stay on Thursdays, which is why Rewind is going to be on Wednesdays. We're not going to stack them back to back. So you'll see Rewind on Wednesdays and the Halo reviews, which Gio is leading, on Thursday evenings. So.
Samir, to answer your question, if I had to pick between Moon Knight and Multiverse, I'd pick Multiverse because Scarlet Witch is in it. And she is just top tier right now.
I mean, I'm excited for Moon Knight, but come on now.
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness for Superior Iron Man.
I will literally anything Scarlet Witch
Gio's
is
stuck on
in
that.
right now. I will just.
If he's not in there, I'm walking out.
Shut up. Well, according to you, you're watching on Disney Plus, so
Yeah.
I'm
And
walking out
you'll
of my
never know
house.
until the last credit scene, so you're gonna watch the whole movie anyway, right? You'll never
according
know
to your
until the
text,
end.
Gio, I'm not buying you a ticket. So
Yeah, you shouldn't buy him one.
Yeah, don't screw around this time because you might actually not get a ticket.
Sorry, Andy. I'm going up.
Are you guys gonna stay up till midnight tonight for Moon Knight?
I can't. No,
I'm
watch it bright and
debating-
early. I'll watch.
I'm
it bright and early.
debating either staying up or just going to bed and waking up an hour early.
Well, Jake wakes up at 4 a.m. So
Yeah,
I don't blame you.
I'm up bright and early, so it doesn't matter to me. I'll watch it in the morning.
Brian, you can take a nap right when this ends. Wake up at 11:45.
See, my thought process is I'll watch it and I'll just be too juiced and I won't go back to sleep. So that's why I'm thinking go to bed, wake up at like 6.
But
As soon
And
as
there's
you
a chance you can't sleep because you haven't watched it.
I
And
don't
then-
know yet. I'm gonna see how I feel around 10 p.m. If I can stay up that late, I will, but we'll see.
See, my kickball game was canceled. It was supposed to be at 9:30. So by the time I got home, it was going to be like 10:30, 10:45. And then I was just like, screw it. I might as well just stay. But now.
Don't worry, Brian. I'll stay up till midnight. I'll text you all the spoilers. All right.
I
don't think there will be any spoilers in episode 1, but we'll see.
Yeah, you never know.
All right, now moving on to something pretty interesting here. For those of you who don't know, the Oscars aired last night, and a lot of interesting things happened.
It's Tuesday, Jacob. Just so you know.
Oh, they did, yeah. Okay, they aired on Sunday night. Yeah, the Oscars aired on Sunday night a couple nights ago, and yeah, there were a bunch of awards given out. Nothing crazy happened, right, guys?
I didn't watch it.
Keep
So
my wife's name out your.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you guys didn't watch it?
no.
Weren't watching it live?
Oh,
I wasn't watching it live. I recorded
Yeah.
it.
So, Gio,
But thankfully, the cool thing for what social media does is there's enough Twitter pages that actually clip out almost every single moment.
yeah.
So I watched everything through video clips on Twitter. essentially, what I did.
instantaneous almost.
Yeah.
So we thought my TV something was wrong with my TV. Like we thought my
Yeah.
TV was glitching, or something was wrong with
Wait,
my
while
audio.
the Will Smith thing happened?
Yeah, while the Will
Yeah.
Smith thing happened, because the way it happened is because it's on a delay. When they do these live events, they're on like a 30-second delay so they can mute anything that happens. And as soon as he started walking up there, they muted it.
Yeah.
And we didn't see, and we were like, what's going on? And we thought it was fake. When we first saw it, we were 100% convinced
A lot of
it was
people did.
fake.
Yeah.
And then until you really watch it, it's real. But
They not only muted, but they looped it. They're like, replay the last 10 seconds.
I heard that it was on, because I didn't watch it live, but I heard that it was a shot of Jada and Will, and then something happened, and then it went back to what had previously happened. They cut away to all of it.
yeah,
And then
It was
we actually
weird.
saw what happened. But I saw the full clip on Twitter, and then I saw the uncensored version.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
thanks to Japanese Twitter.
definitely.
I caught it because of Australian Twitter.
Or maybe it was
Staged at
Australian.
all.
It was one of them. One of any of the non-American Twitters. It blew up because it was uncensored. But yeah, man, it sucks just because about 10 minutes later he won the Oscar, and
Yeah.
it was completely overshadowed by everything.
Yeah.
It's taken nothing away from his performance and what he did, because he should have won, but it's just a very hard situation. Just a very hard
Absolutely.
situation.
And look, it's not directly movie related. Look, it happened at the Oscars, and it's between two actors, a comedian actor. So it is movie related, but it doesn't affect the movies necessarily. But I don't know. Did you guys have any last thoughts on that? Because obviously that's the thing everybody wants to talk about. But there are actual awards to talk about too.
So go ahead, Jake, go ahead.
No, go ahead, because my dogs keep eating.
No, Will Smith is my all-time favorite actor. I grew up with Fresh Prince. I grew up.
One of mine
watching
too.
all of his
He's my
movies.
all-time favorite rapper.
Just-
Nice.
Well, that's not a bad choice either.
He was my very first.
Welcome to Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Hey.
No. He was my very first ever piece of music that I owned. It was a tape deck of what Jake just.
Welcome to Miami.
Welcome to Miami.
Hey, that
Sorry,
song,
Gio.
that's a good song.
Great song. But for months I've been on this train that I think, having not seen any of the others, this is Will Smith's year. Coming out of King Richard, I was like, absolutely, this is it. The story, the performance, and then the memoir of the book that he came out with, Will. I'm like, all the momentum is for Will Smith, and it was just supposed to be one of the greatest nights of his life, and he did something, in my opinion, that's stupid. Okay, now, is it stupid to defend your wife? No, not at all. And the joke from Chris Rock was of poor taste. Okay, I watched an interview on the Howard Stern show, and I forgot who the comedian was that came on, but they were like, there's no way he would have said that if he had known of her condition, which is alopecia, loss of hair. My cousin has that. Serious thing. But it was how Will Smith dealt with it, in my opinion. Comedians nowadays, they already get a tough time, a hard time as is, because of some of the jokes that they say. Look at Dave Chappelle on Netflix, for crying out loud. And now Will Smith, whether he intentionally did it or not, walked up the stage to the comedian and smacked him on national television. And not only did it ruin his night, but it ruined the night of everyone else who won an Oscar after that. Because I didn't care about that at all. I kept looking on Twitter to see if it was real or not. I kept checking all these reactions. People won, cool. But it still was the talk of the night. And even going into him winning later, all I was looking for was, are you going to address it? Are you going to apologize to Chris Rock? He did apologize to the Academy. And the next day he did apologize to Chris Rock. I would have liked to have seen a video, but sorry, I'm going on and on and on. It's just, I don't know. It was a thing. And it makes me wonder how they're going to approach it at the next year's Oscars. People will probably tune in.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that they're discussing suspending his membership for however long, which is fine. I mean, that's fine. Did you guys have any last thoughts on that issue at all?
It's not, and everyone's saying it, but it's just not the way to go about things.
Yeah.
You know, it could have easily been like, and I get it, and Gia's right. You know, defending someone that you love, especially your wife, someone you spent a long time with your life, is a big thing. But you know, put it aside for 5 minutes until he's done, then take it backstage. Millions of people are going to be seeing that now. I've already have, actually.
Yeah.
It blew up instantly. It's the thing that people are talking about. It's, you know, and it came from Will Smith, and he's been one of the guys for decades that everyone has kind of looked up to, and whether it's movie roles or the way he approaches life. I remember a number of years ago, he started that YouTube channel where he was just doing adventures, and people were totally tuning into him because it was Will Smith.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard to see. So yeah, it's not the way to go about things. I expect better from people like that, people in that seat, right? You know, who have that high of viewership, who have that many fans, much larger of a life than ours. I expect better. I really do, especially from someone like Will Smith.
To your point, you know it's bad when Denzel, Bradley Cooper, and Tyler Perry are pulling you aside during the commercial break saying, dude, chill. Not the time or the place. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I get some people were like, well, why didn't the cops come? Why wasn't he arrested? Or why didn't security escort him out? Well, look, first of all, the Academy was not going to not have him accept his awarding of his speech. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't think they were going to not allow that to happen.
Yeah.
But also I heard they couldn't, they didn't know what to do. Like they were like, oh my God, they weren't expecting it, obviously. And how much time was left in the show? Like 30 minutes or something? Or less. Like they didn't know what to do. So we'll see. Brian, you have any thoughts on that before we talk about the actual Oscars?
I mean, everyone's pretty much sure he said it.
Yeah.
I just don't, like, clearly he wasn't thinking, because he literally went up and smacked someone on national TV from millions of people in front of his highly respected peers.
Yeah.
Legendary comedian too.
Yeah.
Chris Rock is big time.
Well, I love Chris Rock, and I like, look, the jokes in poor taste, whatever. There's a lot of jokes that are in poor taste, but I felt bad for him. You could see his eyes. See, the thing that made me think it was real is his eyes were all watery, and I was like, this might be real. Like it was crazy. So I really felt bad for him.
Quick. I don't know if you guys saw, but Chris Rock's upcoming tour tickets are through the roof. So
I'm sure.
And you can bet the Academy, even though they condone it, they fucking love all the conversation.
Attention. Yeah.
And the attention.
After the show they put on, they need the attention. So
yeah, I saw it went up at like 33% in ratings, which is like incredible for them.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, look, we could talk about that for hours, but I do want to focus on some of the awards. We're not going to do a full breakdown. There's too much to talk about, but I do. What is one thing that stood out to you guys? I want to get everybody's thoughts on here. Like maybe it's an award, a moment, somebody, an actor, whatever you want to point out. I'll start with you, Gio.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So
Actually, can we get that mute button
Academy.
going?
Yeah, I was like, you idiot.
I mean, I can kick him from the studio.
Yeah.
So the
Oh my
Academy came
goodness.
up with this idea of let's get the viewers involved, the fans, the film buffs, everything, blah, blah, blah. And they decided to come up with 2 different categories: cheer moment, fan favorite film. Everybody was eligible to vote, and everybody could vote within certain rules and restrictions. And for my guy, Zack
The
Snyder,
cultist one. That's what
it
happened.
was a clean sweep, baby.
Do they get any? Do they actually
No.
get like a trophy,
No,
or is it just
they
like
don't.
a pat on
If
the
they
back?
get a trophy, if they get an Oscar for that, I will
No,
never watch.
They
the
do
Oscars
not get
again.
an official Oscar.
And that would go for
Wow.
anything that wins the fan voting.
What
Seriously,
is an
that
official
would go
Oscar?
for
Please
anything.
Well,
No,
even
like
if-
I'm
Even
asking.
the
statue,
Spider-Man one.
statue.
Yeah,
No.
are they
He
gonna
shouldn't
like
get
be
one.
presenting him with a
He
statue?
shouldn't
That's
get
what I
one?
meant.
He shouldn't
No.
get one. No,
It's not a
that's
real
not.
Oscar.
That's not an
It's
Oscar
not even a-
award.
So what is a real Oscar? Please help me. What's a
Best
real
the
Oscar?
official
best supporting
categories
actor,
that are
best film,
voted on by
like,
Academy
hey,
members.
Hey, Jackie Chan, Danny Glover, Samuel Jackson. Do you guys hear that? Your Oscars aren't real, even though they were honorary Oscars. They're not real. Okay,
That's-
I'm sorry. There
But
it
they
is.
got a statue.
That said, but anyways, what I was saying was Zack Snyder got recognition for, and rightfully so, in my opinion. That guy got a lot of abuse between 2017 and 2020. So it was nice to see this epic. Now I can officially say the Oscar winning 4-hour epic Zack Snyder's
show me the
Justice
trophy.
League, baby. And
seriously,
what made it even more sweeter, and the fans pointed this out, I didn't realize it till later. Toby Emmerich, WB chairman, who is known to get in the filmmaker's way, was sitting there and had to watch. And it was just awesome. It was just awesome to see. Coming from me. That's my moment. That's my moment in the
Yeah.
Oscars. I'm happy for it. And yeah, Ezra Miller, you're a dumbass. That's all I'll say.
Look, I'm
That
all
I'll agree with you
for.
on.
I'm all for fans celebrating what they love. I'm all for that. But there's no way that Snyder fans didn't campaign to make sure that they won those categories, which
This
is fine.
goes-
That's fair. They're allowed to do that, right? So that's fair. Because there's no way Flash entering the Speed Force beats the 3 Spider-Man moment. There's no way. If you
It
gave
does.
every fan who saw both movies a vote, there's no way.
Because
But-
that moment thrives off of 20 years of Spider-Man on live action. The Flash moment thrives off of the past 3 hours that you saw.
And look,
of
and I
Snyder.
love that Flash moment. That Flash moment's great, but I'm just saying, like, anyways. But
Bye,
no, look,
doggies.
Gio, honestly, I'm happy that you're happy about that. And I celebrate that the fans of those movies, which I like both of those movies very much, have something to celebrate. Like, I have nothing against that,
Thank
to be
you.
honest.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Brian, I know you didn't watch the full show, but was there anything else that stood out to you that you, somebody who won anything?
Why didn't I missed it? I could care less about the Oscars if I'm being completely honest. Is there a reason why we don't talk about Bruno was not nominated?
Yeah, there is. They didn't submit it for best song
Oh.
because they
Well, that was a
didn't know
mistake.
when they made the movie. They didn't know how much of a hit We Don't Talk About Bruno was going to be. So they didn't submit it for best song, but it blew up popularity wise. And the song they did submit was like the main song from the movie.
Yeah, makes sense.
But they still performed We Don't Talk About Bruno at the show.
Did they?
Yeah,
they
they
really?
did.
I don't feel
Mhm.
like they did. If Megan Thee Stallion is singing a
Well,
random,
they performed a version of it, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't really count that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There was just a lot of like sloppiness to this. Like, I mean, for me, I haven't seen it. I really want to watch it. The Coda movie. I mean, I took
It's
4
really
years
good,
of
yeah.
sign language, so it's like I have an interest in it. So like, I don't know. The fact there's a lot of things that I was brought to light, like Jake, what Jill said, the fact that they only use interpreters when that category for the movie was there. It's like
for that actor winning and then for Coda winning.
Yeah. So it's like, well, more people should be allowed to have that as an option just in general. Like that little things bothered me here, like hearing that. It's just like it's the deaf movie, it's the niche thing. Like so it just kind of tainted it. But I mean, I love the fact that the two supporting actor and actresses were not standard white people. I mean, I enjoyed.
Ariana DeBose.
Is okay. That can be mine. How about that? I loved. She was phenomenal in West Side Story, and that's the second time that character has won for that role.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And she is so good in that movie.
No, she is. God. I caught that late, but she was fantastic.
If you haven't seen West Side Story, you're missing out because that movie is.
Did you see it in theaters?
Yeah, my mom and I went and saw it in theaters, and
I wish I would have saw it in theaters.
It was like an experience. My mom was like crying. She's like, "It was so beautiful." Yeah.
So when they perform that song in America in the movie, that is incredible.
The whole thing is fantastic. So yeah.
Jake, so the winners and losers and stuff. Was there anything else that you wanted to bring up? Something that stood out to you?
So the two things that I'll just quickly mention: Dune. Not every, but won the most.
I think it won 6 awards.
Yeah,
right?
which well deserved. I still think, and this plays into what I'm gonna bring up, but the fact that Denis was not nominated is fucking crock shit.
He was nominated for.
He was not nominated for Dune, but the movie was nominated for best film, which makes no sense. I apologize for my language, everybody.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. So
he Dune wasn't nominated.
Dune winning the most Oscars. My girl Jessica Chastain walking away with her first Oscar. Love her. I actually watched Tammy Faye yesterday.
I haven't seen it.
That's on my list.
I completely understand. Yeah. So the movie is good. It's not like the best movie of all time,
but it's her performance, right?
It's her performance. I actually watched. It's funny. I watched Tammy Faye yesterday. I watched West Side Story today. I'm gonna watch Coda tomorrow.
You watched West Side Story?
And I'm gonna watch Spencer on Thursday. I'm like on an Academy binge right now.
So I felt the same way about Kristen Stewart and Spencer. The movie's not good, but performance is amazing.
So yeah, I'm on an Academy binge. But yeah, so those are the two things I wanted to just quickly bring up is Dune, Jessica Chastain. But the one thing I want to bring up is, and it sucks because I've been such an Oscars fan for so many years. I used to sit there and do a ballot and see what I would get right and wrong. The Oscars have fell from grace. They really have. They are not the award show they were years ago, and it absolutely sucks because they were the most prestigious thing in the film industry every year. Every time late February rolled around, because it was always around my birthday. It always happened around my birthday. The last weekend in February, I was psyched. I made time to watch the entire show of the Oscars, and I don't know what happened. I don't know who's making the full decisions on the show, how it's ran. The idea of doing Twitter announcements for some awards, something like Best Composer, which Hans Zimmer, he just got a Twitter award for winning for Dune. Like,
he's the one that took the picture with the bathroom.
Yeah, like he deserves something a little bit more. Like he didn't even go to the Oscars because they weren't doing the award in person. Like that makes it's shocking that they're making decisions like this. And it's funny, we had always compared like the awards to like, oh, what's good, what's bad, etc. And we always said like, oh, the Golden Globes, they're just a thing. Like they just happen, right? Because they make dumb decisions like putting The Martian in a comedic category. But now the Oscars are something on that level or something even below it. And it sucks. Like the awards are the awards, right? The people get nominated.
You're talking about the show.
Like I'm talking about the entire thing. I'm
Because
talking
the
about the
awards,
entire
the
thing.
actual awards are still way more prestigious
That's
than the.
that. No, getting an Oscar statue is fine, but sometimes they make
Yeah.
fucking stupid mistakes on
Yeah.
nominations, like absolutely idiotic mistakes on nominations, and also the fact that Rachel Zegler from West Side Story wasn't even invited, and then the film was nominated for Oscars. Like this is what I'm talking about. They're making idiotic decisions that should not be happening. They are the top award show in Hollywood, in music, in film, whatever it may be. Oscars holds a different name. Different people come to the Oscars, and they have the variety after party, all that stuff. And they always, for the last couple of years, they have always found some way to absolutely destroy it. Just completely. I'm turned off by the Oscars right now. I am. I'll sit there. I'll update myself on Twitter and find out who wins and loses. But right now, I don't care to watch the show anymore. I really don't. I'm not going to sit there for 3 hours on this type of show because it's not worth my time. It is legitimately not worth my time. And you guys know, Gio and Jacob, you guys know when we first got together on this channel, we were all about the Oscars. Like that was our thing. But right now, I do not care. I legitimately do not care. This year, put a complete seal on that. I will not be watching the Oscars going forward. I will be getting Twitter updates until someone tells me otherwise. Legitimate. And it sucks because the Oscars were one of the things that I always looked forward to. Always. And right now, it's just not going in a direction that I care about. And it sucks.
No, I respect that. To me, like, the Oscars to me are the most important thing in movies to me, in my opinion. So I get where you're coming from with the show and them not inviting Rachel Zegler or whatever, but winning an Oscar, like the weight that carries has not changed for me. So because the voting system hasn't gotten worse, in my opinion. Like they're adding
still not great.
It like the directors nominate the directors. So if they didn't,
the directors are fucking stupid.
They didn't nominate Denis Villeneuve. That's on them. That doesn't make any sense to me. But regardless of
how do you direct one of the movies that is nominated for Best Picture?
The movie won the most Oscars this year, and he wasn't nominated.
But see, like first movie to win 6 Oscars and not have the director nominated.
In the history of Oscars,
in my thought process, I just don't understand. If your movie was so good that it's a Best Picture, shouldn't you isn't that just an automatic spot?
Well, the conversation has popped up when a director's been nominated, but the director's film hasn't been nominated. We've had the flip side conversation, but I've never had a conversation where the movie's been nominated for Best Film and the person who made the movie isn't nominated.
Argo won Best Picture. Ben Affleck wasn't nominated for Best Director.
Mm-hmm.
So this has happened. This has happened before, but you guys, it's not I think people. I know you guys don't think this, but I think some people think that 30 people get in a room and they're like, "Who should we nominate this year?" That's not how it works. There's thousands of directors who make the nominations. There's thousands of writers who nominate the writers, etc. So to me, the actual winning the award still holds the same weight for me. Whether the show has turned to shit, that's a different conversation. But actually winning the awards, that's why I care so much about it, because it's it's the championships of the movie world to me.
I mean, I care who wins. Seeing Jessica Chastain win was, I've been a fan of her since she was an unknown actress years ago and Lawless and all these movies.
Oh, for sure.
And seeing her win is great. And she's been in so many great films, but outside of everything that is naming the winner, bye. See ya.
I understand it. I'm just not ready to let that go yet. I enjoy it so much. So we pissed Brian off. No.
Just remember it's all subjective. Okay. Yeah. Even the people who vote on these things, they're just opinions at the end of the day. They might be a little more informed than us because they're actually there on sets working in the industry
Yeah.
and whatnot.
They're not more informed than us, Gio. Don't say that out loud.
I mean, I don't. I like. Am I going to argue with Quentin Tarantino over like the
Fucking
way a
right,
film
I'm going to
should be
argue with
made?
Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
Why did you vote for Denis Villeneuve?
Why didn't you do it, damn it?
Yeah, but as far as like a moment to me, we talked about Coda a little bit, but Troy Kotsur, who plays the dad in the movie, I watched Coda like last week, just getting ready for.
I'm
the
watching
Oscars.
it tomorrow. It's my plan.
And that movie almost made me cry, to be honest, because I took ASL at Sac State, and so did Brian. We didn't take it together, but Brian took ASL, and just watching that movie, being a little informed on the deaf community, like made me appreciate it so much more. So Troy Kotsur winning the award, and then his speech, like honestly, he was signing, and someone was communicating it, translating it, but like I felt like his speech was like the best one, like what he was saying, to be honest.
Yeah,
it
that
probably
really cool.
meant the most
I
to
agree
him.
with you, Jacob. I agree with you.
He probably had the most genuine emotion behind it.
Exactly, and and you can really tell. So when you watch,
he's on our thumbnail, so he's on
yeah. No, I was gonna text you. I love the thumbnail you chose because it ties in the Oscars and it ties in celebrating women in film.
See, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
Sometimes.
No, that was great. Jake, I honestly hope one day you get back on track with the Oscars.
Well, the way to do
watch
that
it
is be
again one
invited to
day.
your Oscar party. So
Yeah, you were.
Just saying. I might have to throw my own, and we'll have competing Oscar parties.
Oh, there we go. No, one day I want to throw. I wish I was like had enough money to throw a big Oscar party, like have everybody show up, have a red carpet, like a mini one or something. That would be a lot of fun.
Big,
all right,
big
guy.
spender over here, big bala.
I'll never be able to afford that, but that would be a lot of fun.
Hey, don't give yourself. Come on, give yourself a little credit.
Jake, we're going
I
to
need a
the
house
teaching
for that.
profession. Come on.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it works.
Did you guys have any last thoughts on the Oscars? Anything else you guys wanted to bring
Do
up?
better.
Amy Schumer, I never want to see her host again, ever.
Yeah.
Why? I thought that the clips I saw were pretty funny. Of the three of them, though, it was never just her.
She hasn't really done it since Trainwreck.
Oscars need to figure out a way to get hosts back into the fold because they haven't really done a good job over the last couple of years. It's been a while since we've had like someone who has absolutely killed hosting the Oscars,
Get Ricky Gervais.
No, he's a Golden Globe guy. He's a Golden Globe guy.
Hey, they're not having a raunchy comedian host
Yeah.
anytime soon.
Or get Bill Burr, please.
Actually, you know what? I'll say one last thing. I'm not saying this is the way they're going to go, but I actually didn't mind the year that they didn't have a host because everyone was able to kind of bring their own flair when they presented.
It wasn't bad.
It was different, right? It wasn't just focused on like, okay, you have to get this person who's really good at doing comedy and you have to live up to it all night long. Whereas you can just rely on the people who are presenting or, talking about certain films or music scores or whatever it may be. So just final tidbit there.
They need to like find it's like not like it's easy, but they need to find the perfect host each year. Like when Hugh Jackman hosted, like that was a great choice to host.
Mm-hmm.
Like I even liked Seth MacFarlane when he hosted.
You know who would be a
though
perfect
he
choice
didn't
and
like it.
he would never do it? Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. I mean,
he might.
he would do great, but I feel like I feel like people are going to be afraid to insult people now when they're hosting.
Probably.
So like Ryan Reynolds is the type to make jabs at people, right? So maybe
well,
now
just Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, if nobody has any other thoughts, we'll move on to celebrating women in film. It is March. It is Women's History Month, and we're getting it right in before the month is over. We're gonna go ahead and celebrate women in film. And Jake, I'm gonna throw it to you real quick because you had this idea, so I kind of want to throw it to you. Can kind of tell the viewers what we're going to talk about here.
Yeah, I've been actually wanting to do this for a little while. We've had a lot of big topics in March with the Batman, Obi-Wan, stuff like that. And being that it is our last show in March, it was the perfect time to do so. But we're just going to kind of have an open conversation with ourselves and with you guys in the chat. And one person is going to go at a time, bring someone up, and we're just going to talk about it. It could take 30 seconds. It could take 5 minutes. We only have about 20 plus minutes left on the show. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea just to bring some people up. It's our favorite people that we like either watching, seeing films from, maybe working behind the camera, writing a script, maybe someone we've met before. I don't know. So just a fun little conversation to have with us here on the channel, but also our viewers to see who they bring up. It can be a movie character. It can be an actress. It could be a director or screenwriter, like I said. Hell, it can even, because we're in the business, it can be a movie pundit if you wanted to bring up someone like that. Someone that you may be watching for a long time. So
Alicia Malone. There we go.
I freaking knew that was going to happen. So, but yeah, so if Jacob, whoever you want to send to first, we can bring someone up and boom.
Yeah. Brian, I'll go ahead and start with you.
Saoirse Ronan's the greatest.
I knew it.
Oh my god!
I did that on purpose because I
No,
knew
Alicia Malone's not
obvious.
actually my choice, but I was
Too
just I didn't know we
obvious.
could choose pundits.
I mean, Saoirse Ronan she's one of the best working actresses today, so it makes sense. And Brian has an absolute love for her. Every role she does, every
she's
film
not
that
my
she
type,
does,
but I'm obsessed with her.
every film that she does absolutely crushes. So,
Has anyone seen Brooklyn?
yeah,
Is it good?
Oh,
Yeah.
Brooklyn's great.
I want to watch.
she's
it.
great. It's one of those movies for me that she murders it, but the movie is not great, but just below great.
I liked it a
For
lot.
me, for me,
she was
the movie was
nominated,
nominated for an Oscar, so
and
you know,
so was she.
Yeah.
For Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got Brian. You got to watch Brooklyn. What?
yeah, you gotta watch.
Haven't
Brooklyn.
No, I know. There's a bunch of stuff of hers I need to see. There's a good catalog worth of stuff.
I want to see her do something different from what she typically does. She's kind
That's
of
like
what
a
do you mean? She
comedy
does
or
a lot of
something.
stuff.
Or action.
so a number of years ago, before Jennifer Lawrence kind of like disappeared, right after the Hunger Games films, she did all of those movies like Joy and American Hustle and Silver Linings Playbook, where they were all these super high profile Oscar films, nominations, great performances and stuff. And it almost felt like the same thing over and over and over again. I'm not saying that's the same thing for Saoirse Ronan, but I would like to see her kind of branch out from the Little Women, Brooklyn, Lady Bird type of films and do maybe like a blockbuster or a film from someone who gives her something else to do rather than play this really incredible character that has really good dialogue and gets her an Oscar nomination. I don't need to see that from someone every single time. That's just me.
She could play Lady Deadpool. There we go.
Boom.
Would that be different enough?
Boom. There you go.
Don't even tease.
But that's what I'm not saying like she has to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I'm just like, I would love to see her do something that isn't going to get nominated for an Oscar, but it's going to make a crap ton of money and fans are going to absolutely love it. You know, like,
Yeah.
Well, her next 3 movies don't seem very much like that I'm looking at IMDb. One's about
But she still
climate
hasn't
change.
won an Oscar yet, though, right?
She should
no,
have.
she's been nominated a bunch of times. Yeah.
So she's probably still working on winning an Oscar.
Yeah, it's that Jennifer Lawrence thing where Jennifer Lawrence did those roles so many times, and then she got kind of like people were like, oh, like when are we going to see something a little different from her? You know. So, and I'm not saying like she has any bad performances or anything, but I would just love to absolutely see her do something different from what she typically does. So
It'll happen at some point. She'll realize, oh, this role is too fun. This script is too fun, you know, and she'll get there.
yeah, I agree.
They all do.
All right.
Put her in Dune.
I mean, if
Florence Pugh, too late.
If Florence Pugh wasn't there, I'd say, damn right, you should put it there. Okay, Gio, I want you to go next, but I'm going to bring up a couple from the chat real quick so we don't miss these.
Sure.
John Boo says, Deborah Chow, Total Faith. You know what? That's a great call. Obi-Wan's coming up. She's obviously heading that one. Artie Films here. Love Michelle Yeoh, Moon Lee, Chang Pei Pei. They're all true legends of Hong Kong action cinema. Ooh, that's cool. And then Karen here coming in with I love kick-ass women like Uma Thurman and Sigourney Weaver and Gal Gadot. That's a great trio. I'd love to see a movie from them. That'd be cool. Those 3 women in an action film. Damn, sign me up. Sign me up.
Pop quiz.
Ringer says,
Which Sigourney Weaver role? Oh wait, which Pixar movie is Sigourney Weaver in?
Turning Red.
No.
What was the
Jacob?
question?
There's so many Pixar. Wait.
What Pixar movie is Sigourney Weaver in?
Wall-E. Damn it. Brave.
Bug's Life.
Oh,
Finding Dory.
Finding Dory. Gordon got it.
Oh,
Remember, she's the voice of the Monterey Bay Aquarium. I'm Sigourney Weaver.
Wait, how did this come up?
We Karen brought up these three women. I was bringing up comments in the chat, and she brought up Uma Thurman, Sigourney Weaver, and Gal Gadot, and then Brian asked that question. So, but I was gonna have Gio go next on someone that he wanted to bring up.
Okay. I decided to go with somebody behind the camera, somebody who is very, very revered amongst Hollywood. And this is probably one of the greatest casting directors of all time. And her name is Marion Doherty. You may not recognize the name, but you'll recognize the pieces of film that she has been involved in. And let me sound off on a couple here. So the films that she has been involved in as a casting director: Grease, Escape from Alcatraz, Full Metal Jacket, Lethal Weapon, Lost Boys, Batman '89, Batman Returns, Braveheart. She is a legend. They did a documentary, back in 2012. It's called Casting By, and I only saw this because Jacob and I took a documentary films class over at Sierra College, Community College, and I was just wowed by this woman and her contributions. The documentary features interviews from people like Mel Gibson, Clint Eastwood, Robert Duvall, Richard Donner, Robert De Niro, Glenn Close, Jeff Bridges, on and on and on and on. And these people, many of them, are giving her credit for the success of their careers. Here's a fun fact. The casting of Danny Glover as Roger Murtaugh was only possible because of this woman. One of her very first castings was James Dean, and I didn't get to pull the movie, but it was one of his early roles. And she's just a legend. If you guys ever get a chance and you feel like watching a documentary, it's on Paramount Plus, Casting By, and learn about this woman and the fact that although many people have pushed for her to receive even an honorary Oscar, she has still not gotten one for her contributions, for her paving the way to the way movies are today as far as ensembles, diversity, and whatnot. So I recommend all of you to check it out if you ever feel like watching a documentary. It's called Casting By, Marion Doherty.
That's a great choice, Gio. And a lot of people are pushing for a casting director Oscar category.
It should happen.
And
it's a major thing. It should happen.
I would be all down for that, honestly. So
yeah,
that's a great choice, man. Yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead and go with mine. And look, I didn't know we were only choosing one, but I'm settling on one. And I'm not going to name my whole list of people that I had. But I'm going to go ahead and go. I want to celebrate Cate Blanchett, to be honest, because Cate Blanchett, look, Meryl Streep is the GOAT of women actors. And I think, look, there's always an argument, like, who can even come close to her? And there's a lot of names you can throw in the hat. Olivia Colman, for example, is like getting up there. But I think, like, look, it's safe to say you can argue that Streep is still the best actress on the planet. But to me, the best actress on the planet is Cate Blanchett. In my opinion.
Disagree. I do not.
In my opinion. And look, she's done a whole lot of things. Like, I love her as Galadriel in the Lord of the Rings franchise. Love her in Thor Ragnarok. Like, she might be my favorite villain that's only in one movie. in the MCU. Her as Hela in Thor Ragnarok. But look, she's been nominated for 7 Oscars. She's won 2. And she's still relatively young, honestly.
Yeah.
And she's been in so much stuff. Like I watched Nightmare Alley. I didn't love Nightmare Alley.
Same.
But she's so good in it. She's so good in it. So I just want to celebrate Cate Blanchett. And look, obviously, who you think is the best actor on the planet is subjective. But to me, I think she's the best right now. And I think, I'm not saying she's going to get as many nominations as Meryl Streep by the time her time's done. And Oscars aren't the deciding factor of, how good they are. But I think she'll be up there. She'll definitely be up there.
What was that movie she won for? I think it was Blue Jasmine.
Yeah,
I believe she won
That
for Blue
movie's so
Jasmine
good, man.
and
She
for
was-
Carol.
Man,
she won for Carol.
Yeah.
Carol. Yeah.
For Blue Jasmine and Carol. So
Yeah.
she's just so great. Like anything she's in, I'm just automatically, I want to see that movie just because she's in it for sure.
Yeah.
So do we want to bring Keith in? Keith just joined us here.
Let's go ahead and bring in Keith before we move on. I want to get to a couple comments too, but let's go ahead and bring
Yeah.
Keith in for the next 15, 20 minutes. So
What's
what's
up,
up, bud?
Keith?
What's up,
Hi,
guys?
Keith.
What's
How you
happening?
doing, man?
what's up,
Good,
dude?
good. Thought everyone
we're
forgot
just-
me.
What?
Thought you guys forgot me. I was about to shut it down.
No, look, hey, we're talking about women in film, and there's a couple comments here I want to bring up before we continue on. Andy, after Booksmart, I'm down to see whatever Olivia Wilde does, especially keen for Don't Worry, Darling.
Yes.
Which Jacob saying all that. Star
Yeah.
Drew mentioned Penny Marshall. Obviously, cannot go without mentioning her. Samir said, I was going to guess Patty Jenkins. I think that's when they were, Gio, when you were kind of leading up to your reveal there. And Andy, again, Allison Jones and Sarah Haley Finn are also 2 of the greatest casting directors, too. So there you go, Gio. A couple others to mention. Katherine Hepburn, obviously, duh. Rachel Weisz is mentioned by Star Drew.
I'm waiting for
And-
Emily Blunt.
Well, you can mention her, Brian, if you want.
That's Jake's lady friend.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say it anymore because you just ruined the surprise. So
Did you?
Come on.
Was that Jake's choice?
yeah,
Was it really?
yeah.
Come on,
But I'll
man.
move on. I'll move on. So.
Oh my
I
Um,
thought I would have put money
hilarious.
down that you were going after the Miss Maisel chick.
That's TV, not film.
Does she not write for movies?
No, that's Phoebe Waller-Bridge for. She played L3 in Solo, and then she wrote the No Time. She helped write No Time to Die.
She's
And then
working
isn't
on
she
movies.
writing?
She's not Maisel.
She's not
Maisel.
prominently known as a movie person.
Oh,
Rachel Brosnahan is in movies, but you're
thought
thinking
she
of Phoebe
was-
Waller-Bridge.
oh.
So I'll move on from that one.
But yes,
I'll go a
Jake-
different direction.
Tell us your choice.
Yeah, I'll go a different direction.
No, do Emily Blunt.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna move on for a different direction. I wrote
I'm
a
not
couple
going to
down.
do it, so you might as well.
I wrote a couple down, and I kind of try to choose one from like almost each section of film. And the director that I went with is one of my favorite directors. I watch anything that she does, and she picks and chooses films. And she only has one every so often. That's Katherine Bigelow.
Yes.
I absolutely
Awesome.
adore Katherine Bigelow as a director. Point Break, Hurt Locker, where we kind of, in a way, discovered Jessica Chastain with Zero Dark 30, which Zero Dark 30 is one of my favorite films of all time. I remember exactly where I was watching that movie and being wowed by it. Detroit is one of her more recent works. She's been in the business for a very long time, but she picks and chooses. She kind of has that Tarantino effect where she only does a movie every so often. Like here, for example, let's see. So she did Point Break in 91, Strange Days in 95, and then she did The Hurt Locker in 2008, Zero Dark 30 in 12, and Detroit in 2017. Like there's gaps between her work, which means she really puts her heart and souls in these stories. And she's one of those names that when people see her name attached to film and stories, they want to work with her. She has a very, very different style and take on film. It's a very serious, grounded take on movies that a lot of people don't get sometimes. And you can see that through her work. Like, for whatever Point Break may be to a lot of people, Point Break is one of the greatest action movies to ever exist. That movie is incredible. Zero Dark 30 for what it did for what was happening with the war in Afghanistan for us, and watching that movie presented on a movie screen was incredible. I don't have to say anything about The Hurt Locker as well, and what Jeremy Renner and Anthony Mackie and company did in that film. So yeah, I every time her name comes across and she does a film, I'm all on board. Doesn't matter what it is, I'm completely on board. And I can't wait to see what she does next, because it's been damn near 5 years since we've seen a movie from her. So crossing our fingers that we see one soon. But yeah, Katherine Bigelow, that's someone that I would love to celebrate and talk about a little bit more, and love to see more. But I also appreciate the fact that she takes her time and chooses her projects wisely.
Yeah, that's a great choice. I'm glad we have we have two actresses, we have a casting director, a director. So that's a great choice. I love Katherine Bigelow. I wish she would direct like a film every 3 years. But like you said, there's these certain directors that maybe they only choose a project when they know it's the right time to do it. So that's probably her. I do want to shout out Samir, though. Samir said, "Did Cate Blanchett win for The Aviator?" He was right. She didn't win for Carol. She won for The Aviator and for Blue Jasmine.
Oh, nice.
So good call, Samir.
Nice.
Thanks for that. But yes, Katherine Bigelow. What's your favorite film by her? Did you say?
Oh man, that's so hard.
Yeah.
I would probably have to go Zero Dark 30.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But The Hurt Locker is right there, and then Point Break is like right there as well. They're all I'd probably go Dark 30. That's probably what I would do.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
She was the first to win a Best Director as a female, right?
Yep.
Yeah, big time.
Which I think was for The Hurt Locker, right?
The Hurt Locker, yeah.
And that also won Best Picture that year as well.
Oh, I just realized we had two back-to-back women win Best Director. Chloe Zhao and then Jane Campion.
Yep.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. All right, Keith, I know you're joining us a little late here, but we're celebrating women in film. We all chose somebody we wanted to highlight. So who do you got first, man?
Oh man, there's so many. You guys have some great ones there. Definitely one of my honorable mentions was Penny Marshall. So I can't remember who was it that brought that up, but she made Big and A League of Their Own are two of my favorite movies of all time. And she's the first woman to have $100 million film, grossing film. So shout out to, and also rest in peace to the great Penny Marshall. And of course, Laverne and Shirley. So she's iconic in so many ways. But no, and one-on-one, quick one. Lexi Alexander, shout out to her, directed Punisher, Warzone, and she did several TV episodes. I think she directed a couple episodes of Supergirl. She directed at least one episode of Arrow. I know that. So shout out to Lexi Alexander. And she was working on a story of who's the wrestler that snapped and killed his wife and his son. Do you remember that?
You're talking about
oh my gosh,
Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit.
Okay, Simpson.
Yep. The wrestler. Yeah, knucklehead. Yeah. Chris Benoit. Yeah, she was working on a biopic. I think about that, but I don't know where that's going. But person I want to talk about, number one, is someone that really no one probably really knows, which is unfortunate. But every year I share this person's story. Her name is Jessie Maple, and since last month was Black History Month, and this month, of course, being National Women's History Month, is kind of not taking care of both of those right now. But she was a first. She's credited as one of the first Black African American women to direct a full-length feature film. Feature-length, I should say, and she was a cinematographer. She was the first. Hold on, let me get this exactly wording right, because it's kind of a lot. But okay, she was actually the first African woman admitted to the Cinematographers Union. Cinematographer, yeah, and I stumbled across her a few years ago on Twitter. I can't remember, it was a Twitter account that just showed a picture of her and showed she's a Black woman cinematographer in a black and white photo. I went, oh, that's always piqued my interest. So I read about her every year. She was a trailblazer, man, and she was the first one admitted to the New York Camera Operators Union. She passed the test to get in, which of course you can imagine. This was in 72 or 73, something like that. And boy, you can imagine they definitely made it very difficult for her. She passed, she got in, and then she was basically blacklisted. The union basically told the studios not to hire her. So she fought against that, sued a bunch of people, sued all the networks, sued all that, lots of lawsuits. She was able to win a long legal struggle, but she won. And she really worked hard, and like I said, was a trailblazer and behind the camera, especially for not just Black women, but for women in general. She's still around. She's 75. She's written books. She's done speaking tours. I'm trying to see if there's somewhere nearby us that I can catch her one day to hear her tell a story. Her story is it's an amazing story. She directed a feature film called Will, and it's about a basketball coach, a girls basketball coach struggling with heroin addiction, which I can't find. I'm trying to find that film. I can't find it, but yeah, man, she's like I said, her husband also a cinematographer. They're both still here, and it's an incredible story. I need to get her book and read it. Her book is called. Sorry, let me bring that up. How to become. Oh, she's got 2 books here, but How to Become a Union Camera Woman, and then a book called a memoir just called The Maple Crew, and it's an incredible story. So shout out to Jessie Maple, trailblazing for women, Black women in particular, behind the scenes, behind the camera as a cinematographer. I love cinematographers, so shout out to Jessie Maple.
Look,
awesome,
I'm not going to pretend I knew much about her before, but I just learned a bunch about her from you. So that is a great choice, Keith. And you want to be a cinematographer yourself, so
Absolutely, man.
That is great, man.
Absolutely a hero of mine, man. She's great. Great story.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, Keith, since you came in late, really quick, do you want to highlight anything about the Oscars really quick before we get out of here, just because you came in late?
Oh yeah, what the biggest thing, and then it's obviously just disappointed in what happened, but mostly just some great wins. I was really happy for all the winners. Like some good stuff. I was hoping Ingenue Ellis would win for King Richard, but shout out to the young lady from West Side Story. That's a great win right there.
Yeah.
But I did just one in particular, and I think I said it in our group chat. Questlove winning for Summer of Soul, which is awesome. Unfortunately, that was the award that Chris Rock was presenting. So unfortunately, that got stepped on. But there's some people, now that it's been a couple of days, people are kind of bringing that out. Like, hey, by the way, Questlove won an Oscar. So that's great. I think it's on Hulu. I think I saw it on Hulu. So I'm mad that I didn't go see it during the summer when it was out. But I might try to watch it tonight, actually. But man, that was awesome. We were together. You guys, I was like, oh my gosh, Questlove just won an Oscar, man.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for him. And then obviously it sucked. But I mean, Will won an Oscar, man. Will Smith finally got his Oscar. It sucked.
I know if
stepped
that
on his own moment
incident didn't happen, we'd be talking about Will Smith.
Yes, like it's so
time,
great. You guys, we all raved about King Richard and how great it is. And I think I had it as my number 3 of the year last year. When the 3 that it was Dune. I think I had Suicide Squad and King Richard, and I really kind of coin flipped each one. It was just kind of. It could have been any of those. Could have been number 1, but I mean that was easily for me the best performance, and I genuinely love that movie to death. He was so great as Richard Williams, and so I'm glad that he won. I hate that this happened because we'll never talk about that. It's always going to be the stupid nonsense that happened. But shout out to him for his performance and winning that Oscar, and shout out and also unfortunately for the Williams sisters, because that's twice now they've been overshadowed by somebody being stupid on stage. I don't know. Oscars is, like I said, good for the winners. Got to check out Coda. Looking forward to watching that. And that's always the best thing to come out of it. Is I like to check out some of the nominees' performances in the movies and see what I missed and see what all the talk's about. So I'm looking forward to watching that. So, but yeah, I was happy for all the winners. I thought I got all those right.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad we can get your thoughts on the Oscars before we head out of here. I did really quick. One of my honorable mentions for Women's History Month was, I just want to shout out Domi Shi. She's director of Turning Red. She directed the short Pixar film Bao. She's been with Pixar for a while, working animator for them. She is awesome, and Turning Red is absolutely incredible. So I wanted to shout her out real quick before we head out of here. But that's going to do it for this episode of Apocaflix Now. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us. We couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you for hanging out with us here for an hour and a half or so. We really, really appreciate it. I'll let the guys go ahead and say bye and where you can find them online. I'll start with Brian Avalasino.
You can find me at Avalasino on Twitter and A Certain Point of View with Jake.
Awesome. There we go. And Gio Ramos.
My honorable mention was Kathleen Kennedy. Gets a lot of flack nowadays, but
I actually wrote her name down on my list too.
She's one of the great producers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yep. You can find me, of course, on this channel Thursdays with Mr. Sean Weinblag for the Halo series reviews. Episode 1 is up, and episode 2 is happening day after tomorrow. And of course, Fandom United, do my own videos there and have some fun. Look at that guy right there. All right.
And Jake Berlin, where can they find you online? And do we have any other shows going on here too?
So at Quadrant Jake on Twitter, 2N. Someone else took it before I did. We have Marvel Rewind tomorrow evening, 6:30 Pacific, which will be covering Moon Knight. You'll see Brian and whoever else is able to show up, because Brian ain't missing this shit. I'll tell you that much. And then, like Gio said, Halo reviews are on Thursday evening as well. Apocaflix Now every Tuesday at 7 o'clock Pacific. We got the real middle of the week thing down. It's a lot of fun.
I guess so, right?
Yeah. You'll be seeing Keith's review of Upgrade here this week sometime, so check that out. Cannot wait to hear his thoughts. But then I'm also part of POV with Brian. I also do a little show called The Whiskey Jedi on my personal channel. I talk whiskey. I talk Star Wars mainly, but also things that I love. And the last plug I'll do is my fiance and I are watching the MCU films because she has never seen them. We just watched the first Avenger, and it's an absolute treat. So go check that out.
Yes, for sure. And Keith Barnes.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone watching. You can find me on Twitter at Keith Barnes 79. Instagram at Keith Barnes 1979. See me on Vapion. It's okay. You're just a little bit behind me. See me on Bartley and Barnes. I think we'll probably recap some of the Oscar stuff, and we're going to talk about. What are we talking about on Bartley and Barnes? Should be next week, next episode. I think next week, or maybe the Monday after. Sure.
Yeah, we'll be doing
next
it real
Monday.
soon.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's coming up soon. We're going to recap all the stuff from this past month. So probably some Oscar talk and some other film and TV stuff as well. And every now and then, catch me with Gio on Fandom United.
All right. And you can find me on Twitter at Jacob Bartley824. It's not movie related, but if you play fantasy football, go ahead and check out First Round Fantasy. It's a YouTube channel that I run with a couple buddies of mine. We talk about fantasy football there. So go ahead and check that out. And thank you all again for joining us. Don't forget, we got Marvel Rewind tomorrow. We got the Halo. I don't know what the name for the Halo show is, but the Halo show on Thursdays. And of course,
Beyond the Reach, Gio. Beyond the Reach.
There we go.
There we go.
I don't know what that means. I don't know anything about Halo, but you can find us all here on Apocaflix Now every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.